Hey guys, Terry here with Forest Farm Project. Recently we insulated this room for our kitchen remodel, and we had said we might give you some tips on what we learned. And you know, we're no professional insulators, but we'll tell you what we learned out here. So anyway, one of the first and most important things we learned was when you go to put your insulation up, we started out just standing here and we were taking it. Here's some right here. First off, if you got to cut it, you want to measure. Ours is 93, so you want to measure it out. Well, we were coming in here and we were like, okay, we got to work around this box, and we started working it in the wall, and then we got looking and we're like, uh-oh, we're too short. So we're trying to force it to go up and fighting with it. First thing we learned, and then, you know, a couple of times we had major obstacles at the bottom. We thought, well, maybe we need to start at the bottom and get that straight. You don't want to do that. From what we've learned, first I should have shook this out. We got a little loose, but I'm not going to worry about all that right now. The main thing is I'm trying to show you how we install it. When you saw me sticking it up to the wall, gravity was working against me. It wanted to pull everything down to the floor, and I'm trying to get it up in the wall, and it's dragging, friction and gravity, and everything's fighting with me, and it's my enemy. So make it your friend. Go to the top and get up here and start. Get it where you need it and say, okay, I got it up to the right height, I got it to the right width. Grab your stapler, staple it down. Whoops. Don't do that. Get it up the top, staple it, and then make your way down the wall. And when you put it in the wall cavity, kind of give it a little curl inward. That allows these edges to go in and spring out against the sheetrock. I mean, against the studs, like here and here. If you just shove it in there, it's going to collapse. What makes insulation work is it fills with air, and then those little air pockets hold whatever temperature, and it can't transfer through that insulation well. If you compress insulation, the cold or hot can get right through it much more quickly than if you keep it expanded. So the goal is to fill this entire cavity with this insulation loosely. I remember a guy telling me, I put R19 in my house, I got some good insulation. I said, wait a minute. You got 2x6 walls? He said, no, I got 2x4 walls. I said, how'd you get it in there? He said, well, I had to pack it in there. I said, you don't have any R value. Like, you know, you don't have R19 value. You've got probably less than R13 because you've compressed it. He wasn't real happy about that. So you want to go with whatever your wall cavity size is. This stuff's designed to expand to the proper size. And you want to squish it in there, get it in the wall, give it a little pat, and staple it some more. Make your way down the wall. And this stapling, we use a staple gun. Most insulators have that thing they just swing. We're not that good. We'd probably be tearing the paper all to pieces. Matter of fact, most of the jobs I see, most of the insulators tear the paper up. So we decided to use this because we had this. And then Brian's like, Dad, we've got that Milwaukee M12. What this is called is a crown stapler, but it shoots the same staples as this. So after Brian shot several hundred staples in this room, we realized we've got a crown stapler. Let it do the work, man. Making our way down the wall here. Now you start coming to some obstacles. Right here's what would be a switch box. We just put a dummy box in here. This is the wall that's actually coming out going to our kitchen. You can check it out in previous videos about Terry's old house and doing a remodel job on the kitchen. Kitchen laundry pantry, I think we called it. So anyway, you need to cut out for this box. So you need to take a section of insulation out the size of the box. Well, we started out cutting on the outside of these boxes, and sometimes we'd end up a little bit too wide and whatnot. And then we realized, get that insulation on the edge of the stud where it needs to be. Compress it. Find that box. I'd have this on the belt. It'd probably be better. Find that box. And let me find the edge of that box. And go inside of it. And cut your insulation to the inside of that box. That way the box is helping compress that insulation where you've got a good solid chunk of it to cut on. Whoops, I got below it and I boogered up. Oh well. And then cut this out right here. Now, I messed up big time on that bottom. Bad example. Sorry about that.
But you get the point of what he's trying to say.
Yeah, if I'd have done it right, it'd have been slightly smaller than the box. Then I can push this back and get it around the box. And I've got it fitting tight to the box, as opposed to like this one here, we messed up. And because we cut too wide, there's a gap here and we're gonna have to stuff some insulation in there. You wanna avoid that.
If you look over here, this one is cut nice and tight to the box. And we did that by cutting inside like he said, and then you just snip the corners a little bit and you can work the insulation right around it nice and tight.
And that's your goal. You want your insulation, you know, tight around them boxes as you can get it. Now, the back of that box, there's a gap, and let's look at that. Let's see if I can get this out of your way enough. See
there's
this?
a gap that I can stick my fingers in right here.
So, after you cut that plug out, you don't want to compress all of it in there. Again, you don't want your insulation compressed flat. But take some of this, whatever you think you can get back in there gently. And I wouldn't have this insulation up like this, I'd just be doing it. But fill that void back there with some insulation. That way, it's insulated between the box and the outside, helping keep your house just a little bit warmer or cooler, depending on summer or winter. Then you can pack this stuff. It's going to tear on the corners a little bit, but you can pack around it. And really, your goal would not be to have this on the side here, because that's where the stud is. You don't want that holding your sheetrock out. I boogered up. Brian actually did most of the cutting. He does better at it than I do. And you start coming down the wall again. You want to pull it tight. You don't want to staple your thumb. That's never good. Now, I'm going to skip along. We'd put a few more staples in here, but I'm just trying to demonstrate how we get things accomplished. So when you run into an obstacle like this wire, right here, you figure out where's that wire at, and it's running straight across through here. So I'm going to get right in line with that wire, and I'm going to cut the back of my insulation and come straight across and just saw into it. Hit it again the second time. Now I've made it open up kind of like a clamshell. I can flex my insulation and get it around that wire, again allowing me to get that insulation back to the wall and fill that wall cavity. If I just shove against this wire right in this area, it's going to compress. There's going to be a cavity of air in there, and you don't want that, because that's where the cold can penetrate. And if you got your insulation compressed, it's going to penetrate that. So you work that like that, and you're good to go. So I'm not going to finish stapling that down, because that's actually coming out. This whole wall is coming out. But we did want to demonstrate, let gravity be your friend instead of your enemy. Let it, you know, work with gravity. Get up top and then let gravity pull that insulation down, and it'll fall right where it needs to be. And if you're 93 inches and you've got it up there at the top where it's supposed to be, when you get to the bottom, it's going to be where it's supposed to be. You don't have to shift it around in the wall. Over here, it gets really complicated. You got all these different boxes. You got to work around a lot of different stuff. And this is plumbing pipes for the inlet for the washer, and then the drain lines. And the drain lines is a little different than what we worked on over here that I showed you. So we're going to cut to some video from the other footage that when we did this room. Quick note here, we got a wire running across this way. We got this board in the way and this pipe. Very complicated mess. Down here, we've got this pipe. So, you know, running sideways. So we cut this thing in half at the wire. We're going to put half of it above the wire, half of it below the wire. Then we put this on the pipe, felt where the pipe was at, bent it around, come around here. I cut that slit, and right now I'm tucking it in around that pipe so that some of the insulation gets around it. It's just a vent pipe, it's not a big deal, but you don't want it freezing. So it's not rocket science, but it is a mess.
Very tedious work.
Yep, I need that knife.
Right here on my side.
Okay. There we go. Feels like it's filling that gap in there. About as good as we're gonna get it. Above this panel and below this panel are multiple wires running out. You can't split that insulation from both sides and have it stay in one piece and get it on that wall and get it tucked around all them wires. So I took it and the wires are about halfway out. We try to drill center of that top plate and center of that bottom plate, and that keeps the wires, you know, halfway. So what you can do is take your insulation, expand it like it should be, cut it for the length you need, and then literally just peel it apart, like right here. Just say, well, that's about half. Just lay it open, and I literally peeled that whole piece off. So I had two different pieces of insulation, one with the paper back and one without. I took that one without, and I just slid one side in behind the wires, slid the other side, I reached between the wires and tucked it around, kind of like I'm tucking a little kid in with a blanket. You know, you just packed it in all the little corners. Then you take the second piece with the paper and put it up there. Now you've got insulation behind the wire and in front. You're never going to get it perfect where all them wires are at. It's just too much going on there, especially down here. There was a great big service wire and it's a mess. But you got to attempt to get it as good as you can. So a little job like this isn't quite as big. You could use a hand stapler and get it done. But one thing we learned for sure is power stapler, man, I can go all day. You keep squeezing that other thing and you're having to push it against the wood and get all these different angles. It's a lot of work. So that was really nice. And it's a crown nailer as well, or stapler as well. Additionally, remember, let gravity be your friend. Anyway, get that insulation to the top and work your way down. Gravity is going to help you work this thing out. If you like what you see, give us a big thumbs up. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and check back often. Thanks for watching.